A senior colonel who was a NASA consultant confirmed that native Martians exist, and that they look and dress like ancient Egyptians. Amazing. Method of calculation of the UFO dimensions. By knowing the exact measurements of Phobos, which is 27 kms long times 22 kms wide times 18 kms in height, and comparing the precise measurements of the cylindrical spacecraft from the photo, we have calculated that it is 23.8 kms long and on average, 2.4 kms in diameter. There are therefore at least 5 different sized cylindrical spacecraft that have been recorded in the solar system, which are respectively around 320 m, 3 kms, 12.9 kms, 23.8 kms, and approximately 2000 kms long. Of course, there are other cylindrical type spacecraft that have been photographed over the years. Below left. Colonel Dr. Marina Popovich, born on July 20, 1931, is a retired Soviet officer, engineer, and legendary test pilot who holds 107 aviation world records on 40 different types of aircraft. She testified that there have been dozens of UFO crashes in the Soviet Union and that the Soviet Air Force and the former KGB have in their possession the fragments of at least 5 crashed UFOs from 1. Tunguska on June 30, 1908, which had always been thought to be a massive meteorite explosion. 2. Otradnensky in Novosibirsk on March 19, 2012. 3. Tallinn in Estonia in 1984. 4. Orjonikij in the Caucasus on May 5, 1983 and 5. Dalnogorsk on January 29, 1986. The fragments were analyzed and the conclusion was that none of the UFOs were manufactured with terrestrial technology in 1991. Some UFOs crashed hundreds of years ago in the Soviet Union and were found deep underground. Colonel Dr. Popovich claimed that she has actually been inside many of these extraterrestrial crafts. Inaccurate wax rendition of the Roswell aliens created by Linda Carivo at the Strange World Pavilion Exposition in Montreal in 1978 to 1981. The black and white photo was given to Marina Popovich by Felix Ziegel, who got them from a Canadian who had taken pictures of the wax model. These photos were first shown publicly in Munich in June 1990 at a conference organized by Michael Hessemann. It would be totally out of character for a senior Soviet officer to lie about these retrieved UFO fragments, particularly in light of the fact that she has provided proof in the form of witness testimony and verifiable photos. Below. Another surprising artificial structure or monolith allegedly created by a collaborative mission of American, Russian and Chinese space administrations on the Martian satellite Phobos, according to a U.S. Air Force Brigadier General name classified. Although it is difficult to imagine that after having destroyed a Russian probe in 1989, the Greys would have allowed this monolith to be built on their artificial moon. An airport or spaceport type structure photographed on the surface of Mars by Russian probe, Phobos 2 in 1989. According to William Hamilton at a MUFON meeting in L.A., on June 17, 1998, a senior colonel who was a NASA consultant confirmed that native Martians exist and that they look and dress like ancient Egyptians. It seems ancient Terrans colonized Mars millennia ago. Testimony censored. Authentic photos of what appears to be a large city or base taken on the surface of Mars, either belonging to humans, Rygelians, or Zeta Reticulans. Above right. A satellite view of central Washington, D.C. for comparison. The resolution has been purposely reduced and exposure increased to see the similarities. Thank you for listening. A senior colonel.